That looks like a brain. That brain was quite good.
Dried fish snack. All in the name of creativity. The brain is the most sophisticated machine known to man, and creativity its most powerful asset. If I'm going to boost my creative skills in just 1 month, I need a creative guru to get me going. At the California State University, San Bernardino is one of the leading lights in the world of creativity research. Dr. James Kaufman is a firm believer that not only can creativity be learned, it can even be measured. In other words, he's a maverick.
I've written about 25 books and more than 250 papers, and they're all at the same basic essence of what makes us creative. How can we become more creative?
You've written a play as well, haven't you?
I've actually written about 15 plays and musicals. Actually, the first one that I had staged was staged in Australia.
Oh, what was it called?
It was called Sweet as Cinnamon. It was about a serial killer.
Oh, well, that's
charming.
good to know. James, I'm always looking for ways to improve.
Okay, now that we got that serial killer thing out of the way, let's make me more creative.
What I'd like to do is to find out where you are right now with your creativity. And I'm going to give you a little test.
I'm used to tests.
The first test I'm going to give you is called the alternate uses test. It's going to look at your divergent thinking. We look at divergent thinking as a component of creativity where whenever you get an idea, the first thing that has to happen is you have to get many different ideas.
I'm ready.
How many different uses can you think of for a shoe?
You're going to do these tests with me, right?
Go.
It can be a hotel for ants. It could be a plant holder. You could use it as a drum. We could use it as a new cologne, shoe odor. Oh, you could use it as a doorstop. You could use it as a weapon, as a boxing thing to beat people. You can use it to kill flies.
So I'm going to give you a different test. I'm going to draw some very basic shapes, and I want you to then take 2 minutes, go.
Any ideas how you'd finish this? It's known as the Torrance drawing test. It's not about your actual drawing ability, but open-mindedness and how well you can think outside the box.
And your time is up. Hands down. Let's see what you did. Explain your drawing to me.
So I've done a thing called the circle of life. So we start out as a butterfly, then we become a snail with a shell, and then we transform into a human lifting weights. He basically then becomes a butterfly. How's that going with you?
Does this happen to you a lot?
Yes, it does.
So basically you're saying you see a mollusk-rooted nature of mankind.
You've got it, that's it.
Do you often smell cheese when you're not aware of anything happening?
I don't know about cheese, but I think someone has been sniffing the magic markers.
Are you ready for the next test?
I'm ready.
What I'd like you to do is to think of a different thing for each triangle that you might do with it. You can fold it, you can rip it, you can do whatever you want. Okay, let's go.
All right. That's one. I'm gonna make some mini triangles.
These tests may seem a bit odd, but they actually assess divergent thinking, your ability to find many solutions.
And use this triangle as a stem.
And divergent thinking is the single most important component of creativity.
Igloo. Throwing star. That's a house with a blue door. Johnny Happy Face.
A fine job, Todd. Are you ready for another test?
Oh, I'm ready.
Okay. What if people could not wear clothing?
We would be more in touch with nature. Animals in the wild would stay in the wild because they'd be afraid to come out and see what they see. The weight loss industry would boom. Visiting old age homes would be awkward. Shaving cream would be huge. Tanning, we would all, geez, we need a lot of sunscreen actually.
You're done, Todd. That's good.
Well, I have no idea what James can possibly glean from all that, but it turns out the assessment is way more scientific than I imagined.
Todd, we have your scores on how you did on these creativity tests. And what we did is we came up with scores for every single action, 1 to 5. Averaged our scores, and then averaged the scores across every single item. First, we did the alternate usage test.
The shoe test.
The shoe test. How many uses for a shoe? Now with this, we're gonna have 2 scores. The first score is gonna be for your fluency. How much can you come up with? The second score is gonna be originality. How rare or unique are your ideas? So on the alternate usage, you got 8 out of 10 for fluency, and you got 6 out of 10 for originality, for a total of 14 out of 20.
Is that okay?
It's actually quite good.
Okay, next up, reshape triangles. This time, only 6 for both fluency and originality.
How did the mustache do? Because that was my favorite one.
Well, let's turn to my helpers. Heather, what did you think?
That was my favorite. I gave it a 5.
Heather's so nice.
All right, how did my drawing do?
You had a strong, good continuation and connected all the points together with your circle of life. I don't think you're gonna win a Nobel Prize for biology, but, butterfly to a snail to Arnold Schwarzenegger was pretty humorous, which added to your score.
You got a 6.9 for both originality and fluency. You got some extra points for the narrative and for the symbolic usage.
So clearly there was no points for art.
We don't care whether or not you can draw. What we care about is what's going on up here.
And up here is nothing if not consistent, because my score for What If was in the exact same ballpark, giving me a total score of 65.5%.
Is that score good or bad?
65 is really quite good. I would say that most people would be in the around 50 range, but you can do even better. I believe creativity can be taught. And with the training and techniques that I'm going to give you, you are going to be more creative.
Well, now he's just scaring me. But if James insists that creativity can be taught, I think I'll believe him. But in only 1 month, this training had better be good.
I'm going to give you 3 types of techniques to use. For the first technique, I want you to do a different divergent thinking exercise every day. So keep trying the types of exercises that we've been doing together. Alternate uses, shapes, what if.
And doing that over and over again, it will eventually result in me naturally thinking more divergent or more creatively.
It will increase your divergent thinking. It will not make you a better painter, but it will improve how you approach these everyday problems to solve. And one way it does that is by helping to overcome functional fixedness. And it helps you to change this type of a mindset.
Changing mindsets, that makes sense. All right, what next?
The second thing is every day, try a food that you've never tried before in your life. I want you to find a new way home, or a new way to work, or a new way to the park. These are little things. If it's, let's say, jujitsu, try a new move, learn a new move.
Now you're talking.
People who are open to experience are more creative. The third thing is the actual creative production.
Uh-oh, here it comes.
I want you to actually do something creative. Could be a performance, could be a poem, it could be a painting. Try to compose something, anything like that. The key is to be able to turn off that functional fixedness and allow yourself to brainstorm and think of new, cool ideas.
All right, that sounds fun.
It should be fun. Creativity isn't always fun, but there is always fun to be found within creativity.
Okay, so if I have to complete a creative challenge in just a few weeks' time, I'm not going to muck around.